Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Bruce Martin!
Welcome to tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, and boy, you're here on a great night. It's Saturday night, and believe it or not, in London, it's actually morning because when they see this, it's going to be the morning. So good morning to London, all right? And in the United States, right here, it's the evening hours. Unless I posted it at 2 in the afternoon, then you enjoy the show anyway. But yes, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, and we have a great show for you tonight. Believe it or not, they're great. The talented filmmaker, producer, writer, model, director, Leslie Lanier is on the show tonight. Also tonight, ladies and gentlemen, a great music performance by Nico tonight. Sometimes I like to look at myself in the mirror, you know, a little picture of myself, you know. And, yeah, also tonight, ladies and gentlemen, a great movie review of The Pianist. Yeah, so don't miss that, ladies and gentlemen. We have a great show for you tonight. But yeah, man, so much stuff to talk about, so little time. I mean, I don't want to bore you like last week and the week before and the week before that with countless stories of what's happening in the news. But there is one thing that's pissing me off, and that is Jimmy Kimmel. I just want to get this out of the way. Jimmy, every time you start your show, I mean, me and Jimmy, you know, we're fellow late-night talk show hosts. I mean, he barely knows who I am. I'm sure he doesn't know who I am. I'm a nobody. I'm on YouTube. He's on YouTube, too. And I see his stuff. But he's always talking about Trump. Trump this and Trump that. There's other subjects, there's other stuff going on in the world, Jimmy. Why do you always gotta bring up Trump? Why? 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 At this point, I should have turned into the Hulk. So if the effect didn't go through, I apologize. Okay. It was a good effect. It was a good effect. But yeah, come on, Jimmy. There's other stuff going on in the news. Like Ellen Pompeo, huh? Her and Denzel going at it on the set of Grey's Anatomy. Pretty sure you guys heard about that. You know, he was hired to do a job, contract to do a job, to direct an episode of Grey's Anatomy. He was good friends with Shonda Rhimes. She brought him in. And one thing led to another. He said, hey, Helen Papa? Huh? He said, move your ass. Move it this way. She says, hey, motherfucker. This is my show. This is my set, okay? And then, you know, He took out his gun. No, I'm just kidding. Denzel Washington wouldn't do that. But long story short, they were having a spat. She should have kept her mouth shut. She had to tell him, you know, hey, this is my show. I've been directing episodes since I've been on this show. One thing led to another. Denzel was like, hey, I'm the director. I'm here to do a job, which is true. So Denzel didn't do anything wrong. She should have just kept her mouth shut. I feel like she just brought this up because his new film, The Tragedy of Macbeth, is coming out, starring Francis McDormand and himself. And I just feel like, you know, come on. It's like the timing is like perfect for her to come up with some shit like this. I mean, it is what it is. But next time, just keep your mouth shut, Helen. You know, Helen? Yeah, Helen. Also in the news, believe it or not, controversy in New York. You know those vendors? Those New York City vendors? Oh my God. It pisses me off to see these innocent immigrants trying to serve food to the public, trying to survive, trying to make a living, trying to make a few extra bucks. At the same time, the freaking government, has these people, the cops or whatever, these so-called cops. They're like little patrol people, just walk through the street. Give me your food, throw it in the dumpster truck. I mean, like, really? Come on now. The garbage truck, you know what I mean? Like, why are you going to do that? The lady's trying to make a living. Oh, because it hasn't passed the inspection, health inspection. My ass. How about the people in Texas walking around with guns, shooting people? Or in New York, punching people randomly, or murdering people in the middle of the street, pushing people onto subway tracks? Where's the licenses for that, huh? Come on now. The lady's trying to do some good. Leave her alone. You know what I mean? Leave these immigrants alone that are trying to do good. All right? It is what it is. That's the way the government works. They only care about, you know, themselves, pretty much. At the end of the day, they threw away all the good food. You know, I'm sure it was good food. She wouldn't sell bad food. She was doing it because people are like, oh, a reasonable price. I'm going to buy this. They threw it in the dumpster instead of giving it to the homeless people. Homeless community, come on now. It's stupid. I have a problem with that, so just wanted to bring that up. Also, Robert Pattinson's in the news lately. Oh, yeah. Who cares? I mean, the guy puts on a Batman suit. Who cares? Larry David's coming back for Curb Your Enthusiasm Season 11. That's going to be pretty cool. Look forward to that. The new season of Ozark is coming out. I think that's going to be pretty cool. Jason Bateman. Man, what a great show that is. Okay, look, let's get the elephant out of the room. My girl gave me some Benadryl this episode. Yeah, she passed me a little Benadryl. Only because I was the neighbor. My apologies. Only because I shake and I move when I do my monologue. I move back and forth. You know what I mean? Every episode you probably see me like this. And that's because that's how I function. That's how I get the information to you. Okay, there's no papers around here. I just go by what's in my head, what I've been studying. You know, that's why I'm very good at my job. Thank you. Thank you. But yes, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I move around because I move around. The Benadryl's not working. Are you happy now? Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, we have a great show for you tonight. So coming up next, a great movie review. You know what I'm talking about. The Pianist, 2002, starring Adrian Brody. And also, right after that, a great chat with the wonderfully talented Leslie Lanier, ladies and gentlemen. And then after that, we got Nico. Great performance by them. So look forward to that. Thank you guys for tuning into this show. I couldn't do it without you. I just couldn't. No, I'm serious. You know what? I'm not ready to wrap up the monologue. I just thought about something else. You see what I mean? That's the beauty of not having papers. That's the beauty of moving, because I come up with new stuff. Like, for example, when my girl wants to take a picture, it's very simple for me. Like, when somebody wants to take a picture of me, I'm like this. You know what I mean? Very simple. Very simple. Yeah. For her, I don't like the way your shirt looks. Why don't you do something about your beard? Huh? Why don't you go trim your nose hairs? Or your eyebrows. Go do something about your eyebrows. Yeah, okay. I'm not like that. I love you, babe, but at the same time, the picture thing needs to go. Okay, just take a picture. That's all you have to do. But she loves taking her time on the pictures, and I'm okay with it, but I'm just pointing out the obvious, you know. It does take a few hours. Um, but me, I'm telling you right now, just take a picture. Just snap it. Snap it. You know what? I'm challenging somebody that's watching the show, my 2 loyal viewers, to take a picture right now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Snap it. Snap it. There you go. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, a great movie review, The Pianist. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bar.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to show you guys a nice bottle. I got it a few weeks ago from my good friend Sean G. I'm telling you right now, check out his Instagram account, Brooklyn Whiskey Guy. I mean, this guy's the real deal. I won this from him. You know, I appreciate him picking me and sending this over. As you can see, it's still not open. Why? Because I'm waiting for him to get on the show. Once he gets on the show, we're going to have this together. Yes, we are. So thanks again. Appreciate it, guy. Movie review time, ladies and gentlemen. The Pianist 2002, starring Adrian Brody in his breakout role. There's no doubt about it. This is the movie that put him on the map. And let's talk about this film. I mean, it's just an amazing film. It's about a Polish-Jewish musician who pretty much has to fight to survive. You know, in the beginning of the movie, he's playing the piano. A bomb hits it. You know, the war's about to go off. This is the war in Warsaw. Now, let me tell you something. This happened during the World War II Holocaust era. And watching this film brings out the emotion. There's no doubt about it. You feel for these characters. Every character in this movie brings the performance, brings it justice. Because, like I said, for a 2002 film, you know, you could see, like, for example, when the film plays out throughout the film, like, the color deteriorates, it changes throughout the film. And I thought that was pretty unique how they did that, because it shows the trauma that Adrian Brody's character was going through and the changes of the war and everything like that throughout the film. I thought it was pretty unique how they did that. Also, Adrian Brody, my God, I mean, can you get a better actor than this? Originally, 1,400 people auditioned for that role, but Adrian Brody got it. And when he got the role, they originally wanted Joseph Fiennes. You remember Joseph Fiennes? He's from The Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, that guy. But, you know, he's the brother of Ralph Fiennes, you know, from Maid in Manhattan. Yeah, that guy. So one thing led to another, and they got Adrian Brody. He met with director Roman Polanski. Yes, the most controversial director out there. I mean, you know what this guy has done. Not good stuff. But this is not about him. Even though part of this movie, you know, is based on his life, it's not about him. It's about Adrian Brody, the guy that gave up TV, gave up his apartment, gave up his car to really feel the feel of loneliness, to really get into this character. This is why he's an artist at what he does, because he really delivers. He lost about 30 pounds, went down to 160 pounds for the role, which was pretty crazy. He won his first Oscar at 29 years old because of this film. His breakout film, the film that put him on the map. And my God, I mean, can you ask for a better guy to be in this movie than Adrian Brody? The determination of this guy to, you know, that everything that he did to become, I forgot the guy's name, was Lady Slaw Spillman. Oh, I butchered that, and I apologize. I apologize to all you people that are, you know, huge fans of this movie, but I'm not very good at pronunciations. Pronouns. Never mind. Moving on. But yeah, man, this movie has it all. You know, from the Germans going into apartments, murdering people, like just right there and then throwing one guy out of a window in a wheelchair. That scene by itself really messed me up, because I was like, wow. And you could just imagine, like I said in the earlier, you can feel what these people were going through back then during the Holocaust, which is just a crazy, amazing event that took place. Not amazing, I apologize. A crazy event that took place back then. And to this day, it's still felt, you know what I mean? Especially the times that we live in now and what's going on. But the movie, The Pianist, is just a masterpiece of a film. You can't get better than a film like that. Of course, directed by Roman Polanski, but at the end of the day, even though he put his stuff into the film and his experience because his mother got murdered during the Holocaust, and then at the same time his dad got injured, but he survived the Holocaust. It's still a great film. It doesn't overshadow what Adrian Brody and the rest of the cast brought to the table. Now, let's get to the real deal, and that is the film itself. It was actually 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. Cost about $30 million to make, grossed over $120 million at the box office. Really good money. It didn't do as good as I would have hoped, but at the same time, the rating pretty much tells you all you need to know. 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's a really good rating, well-deserved rating. And believe it or not, when Adrian Brody was accepting the speech for the Oscar, believe it or not, he talked to Michael Caine saying, "I didn't expect to win. I did not expect to win this Oscar at 29 years old, so young." And then he beat the biggest of the biggest. He beat Daniel Day-Lewis, Michael Caine, you name it, Jack Nicholson. He beat all these powerhouse names. So I thought that was pretty cool. But the film, based off of Spillman's life, who passed away in the year 2000, actually during the production of this film. One thing led to another, and Adrian Brody's character is just trying to survive, hiding in those attics, apartments. People are trying to help him, but at the end of the day, he's running. He's running from these Germans because once they find him, they're going to kill him. His family got killed earlier in the film, but he survived. He somehow survived. Sorry, I got an itch on my nose. I got an itch on my nose. Sorry, I'm not editing that out. And throughout the film, you see him running in the streets, but you can see oh my God, this guy is such a great actor, and everything he does. All his other roles are great, but this role, he really brings it to the table. The reason I really recommend this film is because it's just a masterpiece. Like I said before, it's a masterpiece. I highly recommend going to see it, and if you don't see it, that's on you. But yeah, definitely go see it. And I wanted to thank you guys. It was a short review, but I just wanted to get a little things out of the way, let you guys know that the film is worth seeing. It does take place during the Holocaust and World War II, and it has all that drama, all that suspense, and all that stuff in the film. And it's amazing. It's really amazing film to watch. So definitely go check it out. And coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, a great interview with the great Leslie Lanier. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with that Jack. Yes. All right. Real quick, sorry. Welcome back to tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And boy, we have a great guest for you tonight. A really great guest. I'm telling you right now, she's a filmmaker, director, writer. She's a model. I'm telling you, she has all the accolades. And I'm going to tell you right now, her name is Leslie Lanier, and she is here. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being a part of the show. I really appreciate it. Right off the bat, I mean, we have something in common a lot of people don't know about, and that's we're both from New York, and now we both live in El Paso, Texas, which is insane. So how did that come to be for you, like leaving New York City to come over here?
Well, it was pretty interesting. I was dating a guy since 7th grade, and we got married, and we were very cool, very happy. And then he joined the Army, and he got stationed in Hawaii first. So we moved to Hawaii for 4 years, and then we got stationed here, and we got divorced, which is fine. It's very cool. No animosity there. And I ended up staying here.
Ever since, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool story to start off with, of course, you know. But so how do you like El Paso since you've been? How long have you been here, by the way?
I've been here about 9 years.
Wow. Yeah, well, for me, it's been 14. I came here in 2008. And my excuse wasn't army related, but my wife, she lived out here. So I decided to just come jump ship from New York, which is a big change, especially when you're 20 years old, but it
Yeah.
happened. Do you miss New York though?
Yes, of course. Of
That's a crazy question.
course.
Um, I could just imagine. I saw your recent visit. You visited there, I think a couple months ago, was it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was back in April. Yeah,
For someone that hasn't been there during the COVID era, how was that? Because I know it must have been a little rough.
it was weird. It was definitely weird. Um, it was typical New York, everyone's out during the day, but usually, New York, the city that never sleeps.
Mm.
I think we went out around 9 o'clock and the streets were pretty much empty.
Oh, yeah, I
And
could.
that was a shock because I was not used to seeing that. I know I took a picture of Times Square and it was just empty. And I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, I see it. Well, that was then, right? But now it's like you see Times Square and you're like, everyone's out. Everybody's out partying and it's insane. But I mean, people have to live their lives, as long as they do it safely, of course, at the end of the day. Um,
Mhm.
how has COVID affected you when it comes to, because you're a filmmaker, a lot of your followers who are going to see this know this, but people that follow me don't really know this. So you're a filmmaker. How has COVID affected you in that department?
It was really hard.
Mhm.
Because, when COVID happened, I just kind of everyone went into quarantine. We stopped filming. I was just writing and focused on writing and Zoom interviews and things like that. But really haven't been on set since it started. And that's just safety wise. I know a lot of people have started filming. But for me, it was more of trying to keep people safe. And I think that was my main goal. Like, I would hate to be that filmmaker that all of a sudden was just like, okay, well, sorry to everyone on set, but someone tested positive.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be that filmmaker that did that.
No, of course not. Of course not. Um, and that's happening a lot these days in the industry. A lot of people are getting COVID. I just saw the new Mission Impossible. They're filming like two movies back to back, and it got shut down twice because of COVID exposure and stuff like that. So I can imagine what that would go through if you had to do that. Um, how did you get into filmmaking? Like, what was your what made you get into it? What was motivation?
Fight.
Oh, well, that's a good reason.
Um, so I was an actress for a long time.
Mhm.
And when I got here, I really wanted to do theater, but there's not much of a theater presence out here, especially not musical theater, not like there is in New York.
Mhm.
So I started doing just, short films and things like that. But I was getting these parts that I didn't necessarily agree with,
Mhm.
because when you're 20, it's different. You'll take anything, you'll do whatever part they offer you, it's fine. As I'm getting older, I want to be more selective with the parts that I'm getting, especially considering, I'm barely getting paid or not getting paid at all. So it's me doing it as a hobby and doing it for fun. But I remember one day I saw a casting call and it was Mob Boss and Mob Boss's wife. And I thought, interesting. And I sent an email and I said, I want to audition for the Mob Boss.
Mhm.
And they were just like, well, the Mob Boss is a guy. And I was like, okay, can the Mob Boss be a woman? and have a mob boss wife. And I thought that would be an interesting dynamic to the story. And they said, no, of course not. Women can't be mob bosses.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, well, you're not from New York, so you don't understand.
The local
But
customs.
yeah,
Oh,
but it upset me just in the way that I was told, like women can't be mob bosses. And I I said, okay, I'm gonna write a script where the woman's the mob boss. And I was like, that's it. And then I was like, and I'm gonna film it. I'm gonna do it by myself. And I wrote the script and I never filmed it, but I still have it. But essentially I was like, I like this script a lot better.
mm,
And I just started writing more and I was like, I like my stuff a lot better because I'm changing people's perspective. And there are no rules to my scripts. And I like that freedom. And essentially I don't want to be typecast simply because I'm a woman or because I'm Black. And I don't think it's fair to actors to do that to them. So really I'm trying to change people's perspective in the way that I do films. And that's kind of how it started. And it started because I wanted to create roles not just for me, but
mm.
for other people to branch out and show what they can do as actors.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how I started.
That that is an amazing story, Rachel. And there's a lot of people that don't know this, but your stance and your how do you say your push for woman empowerment, whether it's Instagram. I only know you from Instagram. Now I'm friends with you on Facebook, but um, it pretty much shows enough, the stuff you put out there, empowering women everywhere. And I gotta applaud you for that because that is amazing. And especially in these times that we live in right now, these crazy times, where they're, as you know already, you're in Texas, they're taking away the women's rights and this and that,
Mhm.
and they're still doing this, thinking like they're thinking the wrong year. You know what I mean? Like they're not understanding that we're not there, we're here. Change, you know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. And what you bring to the table all the time online, and I'm pretty sure in your personal life, um, I just think it's amazing, like the stuff that you bring to the table and how you push the movement. And I think it's amazing. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm doing my best.
No, that was one of the reasons why I wanted you on the show, is because of, I'm how do you say, I'm inspired, by seeing that. You know what I mean? So I only bring on people that I feel that have their head on right and that, are doing good. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm not just gonna bring on anybody. And I'm not really doing this for myself. If you've seen my posts, I'm just a comedy thing. I do funny things. But at the end of the day, I said, I want to start promoting people. Like I'm gaining a following. So I was like, let me expose some of these people, you know what I mean? The positive people. And I feel like
Mhm.
you're definitely one of the pretty much the top people that I know on my Instagram that bring positivity to the table. And like I said, thank you for that.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Um, I'm not gonna make you crush a watermelon with your thighs. I'm not gonna do that to you. Even though that's
I
what it says on you.
can.
I know, even though that's what it
I
says on
can do it.
Instagram. I wasn't gonna bring that up. I thought it was cool. I was like, you have it there for a reason. Oh man.
Just a reminder, to people that I can do that.
No. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. Um, so what did you start modeling first? Because you're also a model. I've seen the photos on Instagram. Amazing photography right there. Professional, and everything's like just right down the middle. And did you start in modeling, or was it filmmaking first?
I was modeling and acting first. And I was doing that in New York, New Jersey. And I loved it. It was so much fun. Um, the modeling thing was just kind of a random fluke that I just fell into.
Mm.
Um, I'm really short, so I'm only 4'11", so I can't really walk a runway or anything like that, but I
Hey,
can take pictures. So I just started doing that. I was with Suicide Girls for a while. And then I just kind of stopped. I'm old now.
no, you're never too
But
old for anything.
yeah. So, and it just kind of happened. And then when I got here, I met a photographer, David. He's with Crafted Works Photography.
Mhm,
And we just started doing boudoir photos. And I love it. It's so much fun. I love the angles that he comes up with. I like, everyone likes to be sexy and put on lingerie and look
mhm.
beautiful. And it just makes me feel beautiful. And I like doing it.
Well, that's what it's all about, professionalism at the same time. You got these comments, of course, going crazy, but people are not looking at the behind the real story behind it. They're just looking at, oh, she's in a bikini, but they're not looking at, oh, she's doing this for a reason, to feel good and at the same time spread awareness so other people can feel good. Am I right?
Exactly. Exactly. It's about empowerment. Um, and it's not just about being a beautiful woman. Because you look at pictures and you think that's a beautiful woman, you never really look at the story behind that woman.
Mhm,
I was bullied for a long time, and just having these pictures up that make me feel beautiful, it it kind of pushes that back, you know? And there's always a story behind a woman, and you never really know what it is. So,
mhm. Uh, Absolutely. Everyone has a story. And I feel like that's the good part about social media. Back in the day, I mean, I'm 34, but when we didn't have social media, um, it's hard to expose that stuff, But now that you have
mhm,
social media, there's a lot of negative and there's some positive, but that is part of the positive. And that's why,
mhm.
um, whoever's watching this right now, there's going to be a lot of people tuning in. I highly recommend checking out your Instagram. Yeah, I'm Facebook. Do you have YouTube and Twitter, TikTok? Do
I
you have
have
those?
I have I have a TikTok,
Yeah.
um, which is I don't really post on there that
Mm,
often, but it's pretty fun. I love TikTok. They're hilarious.
mm,
Um, and I have a Twitter, but it's more like a burner account
mm.
because I tweet at politicians a lot.
No, yeah. I do the
So
same.
yeah,
No, yeah.
kind of like, hey, Abbott.
Yeah. My God, that guy needs to go
Yeah.
big time.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
and that's why not to get political, but that's what I don't understand about these politicians. They're doing so wrong, so many things wrong. Yet, I'm not trying to bash the president, but like, where can he do anything about this? Like, can he just be like, nope, that's
Mhm.
it, stop, stop. You're doing something wrong, and it has to be stopped. But I don't see that. I just see continuation of the same phases that's happening. It's been happening for many years, um, and it's not just the immigration or stuff like that, or attack on the Black Americans. It's the principle. You know what I mean behind it. Like enough is enough. You know what I mean? And they don't see that. I don't know. That's just I understand you see the same point, like all this attack going on social media and the racism still here after all this time. Like, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I'm 100% against all that. If you've seen my posts in the past, you'll know that I've been staying away from political posts recently. I'm trying to focus on the show, but I trust me, I want to post. I want to say stuff, and sometimes I save it for my monologue. So usually I get a little political in the monologue. You could always skip that part. um,
It's
um,
it's just interesting because there was this whole big movement, in 2020 where it's just like, hey, all this stuff is happening.
mhm,
What can we do? And our response was go out and vote, right?
yeah.
So we did. We went out, we voted,
Mhm,
You know, we voted in who we could. What changed? What are you doing? Fix
Exactly.
it. You told us to vote, we voted, fix it. You're not fixing it. And I think people automatically assume that I'm this left-wing radical person,
Mhm.
but really it's not that. You know, it's not about Democrats versus Republicans. It's about human life and respecting it. And we're at the point where people don't respect that. And that is my goal. And whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, if you are a person that respects human life and you are in the position to fix it, you need to fix it.
Appreciate that. That was well said, well put right there. Yeah, like I said, I admire you for your stance on everything. Everything you stand for, I admire, and I applaud you, and I hope you continue this path. Um, I do want to talk real quick about your film that got picked up, which was Femme. Is that how you spell it?
Film. Yeah.
Oh, so it's Film Femme,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, okay, there you go. My apologies. So your Film Femme got picked up. Your Film Femme got picked up. I'm sorry. You probably get this a lot. I know.
Yeah.
But I just want to say congratulations on that. And how do you feel?
I feel great. I
Mm,
love that it was a story that I put together that came together so quickly.
mm,
And it's really interesting that I made a 2-minute documentary,
mm,
and it was basically just facts, pure facts about women in the film industry and how overlooked they are.
mm.
And it made an impact. And I'm really proud of that.
You should be. When is it going to be released, do you think? So like people like me and others can see it.
I think I'm going to put it on YouTube probably in December and just release it and get it out there. Um, it did the festival run. It did really well with festivals. And yeah, I think December should be good to just release it publicly.
Perfect time for the holidays.
Yeah.
um, and before we wrap up this interview, any future projects you want to promote, or like anything you're currently working on that you can't really talk about, but you can give a little bit, maybe?
I am working on a film
Hmm.
um, that hopefully will be finished and released for a festival run next year. And it's a film about, can't really give away too much, but it's basically challenging our perspectives and our interpretations of our first glance.
Hmm.
People, when you see people on the street, you do that first glance and you make assumptions based on that.
Hmm.
And your assumptions are not always correct. And I think that we react based on that first glance, and we need to start digging deeper within ourselves to challenge that and to challenge our perspectives.
That's perfectly said. Wow. I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to your future work. I'm happy to be following you, and we're now friends on Facebook, so I consider you a friend now. We both live in El Paso, so I think that's cool. I couldn't wish you nothing but the best for the future. Your acting, modeling, everything that comes to you, and the woman empowerment. The way you push it and stuff like that. I wish you all the best, and thank you for speaking up for all the people that don't have voices. Because
Thank you.
yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, as you saw right now, a great guest. I mean, she is making waves, and I couldn't be happier for her. And I want to thank her for coming on the show, Leslie Lanier. And and I so appreciate it. Please follow her. The links are going to be below. Instagram, Facebook, you name it. All her links are going to be below. Um, But yeah, thank you for coming on the show. I do appreciate this, and everything you stand for.
Thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
You're absolutely welcome. And once again, I want to cheers to a future of happiness for you, healthy, the best of the best for you, and just keep on growing.
Thank you.
Cheers.
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 Ladies and gentlemen, Nico.
People killing, people dying, children hurting, hear them crying. Can you practice what you preach? Would you turn the other cheek? Father, 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 help us. Send some guidance from above. People got me questioning. Where is the love? What's wrong with the world, mama? People living like they ain't got no mamas. Think the whole world's addicted to the drama. Only attracted to things that'll bring you trauma. Overseas, yeah, we're trying to stop terrorism, but we still got terrorists here living in the USA, the big CIA. Bloods in the Crips and the KKK. If you only have love for your own race, then you only leave space to discriminate. To discriminate only generates hate. When you hate, then you're bound to get irate. Madness is what you demonstrate. That's exactly how anger works and operates. Man, you gotta have love, this'll set us straight. Take control of your mind and meditate. Let your soul gravitate to love, yeah. People killing, people dying, children hurting, hear them crying. Can you practice what you preach? Would you turn the other cheek? Father, 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 help us. Send some guidance from above. People got me questioning. Where is the love? The love, the love. Where is the love, the love, the love? Feel the weight of the world on my shoulder. As I get older, people get colder. Most of us only care about the money making. Selfishness got us following the wrong direction. Wrong information always shown by the media. Negative images is the main criteria. Infecting the young minds faster than bacteria. Kids wanna act like what they see in the cinema. Yo, whatever happened to the values of humanity? Whatever happened to the fairness and equality? Instead of spreading love, we're spreading animosity. Lack of understanding lead away from unity. And that's the reason why sometimes I'm feeling under. That's the reason why sometimes I'm feeling down. There's no wonder why sometimes I'm feeling under. Gotta keep my faith until the love is found. People killing, people dying, children hurting, hear them crying. Can you practice what you preach? Would you turn the other cheek? Father, 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 help us. Send some guidance from above. People got me questioning. Where is the love? The love, the love. Where is the love, the love, the love? Where is the love, the love? Where is the love, the love, the love?
Ladies and gentlemen, wow. What a show. What a show. I'm telling you right now, that was a good one. Even I'm a huge fan of this one. But man, the 4th episode's in the books. I would like to thank my guest tonight, Leslie Lanier. And wow, thank you so much. That was amazing. I honestly can't wait to have you back, especially for your film release at the end of the year. So we'll see about that, right? We hope to have you back. That was just an amazing conversation. There's so much more we can talk about. That's what I think. I just can't wait to have you back on the show. Also, really good thanks to Nico. Thanks. You guys were great. What a great performance. I would love to have you guys back as well. You guys got a lot of great music. And man, what a movie review we had tonight, The Pianist. It was short, yes, I know I could have definitely covered more details, but ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of controversy surrounding that film, but I did what I can. I did the best I can, and like I said, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want any more information about Leslie Lanier and also Nico, the links are going to be below. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. Next week, we've got a brand new episode next Saturday night, so don't miss out. Okay, so follow me on my social media at official Bruce Martin 34 on Instagram. Tonight with Bruce Martin on YouTube, official Bruce 25 on Twitter, Bruce Martin and Bruce Martin on Facebook because I got 2 accounts. I even got a TikTok. I'm still trying to figure it out. But yes, I also want to thank my previous guests. I mean, Scott Harden, first episode, also the second episode, actor Alex Scooby, and the third one last week was Joe Conte. Man, what a 3 episodes those were. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys next week. So take it easy and take care of each other. Peace.
Yo, whatever happened to the values of humanity? Whatever happened to the fairness and equality? Instead of spreading love, we're spreading animosity. Lack of understanding lead away from unity. And that's the reason why sometimes I'm feeling under. That's the reason why sometimes I'm feeling down. There's no wonder why sometimes I'm feeling under. Gotta keep my faith until the love is found.
People killing, people dying.